absolute certainty about how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for.
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the Unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it from Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula for formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes. Do you think that worked?
First, we have our first judge, Sean, is joining us from New Brunswick, New Jersey. He is an accomplished attorney, entrepreneur, current chair of Tiger 21 in Princeton. He's Rutgers Law, assistant U.S. attorney for the District of New Jersey, director of the Division of Criminal Justice, MBA in leadership and global business while being in-house counsel at PSE&G. And it's not over, managing director and VP of legal for a PSE&G subsidiary. So please, everyone join me in welcoming Vaughn McCoy to The Real Raw.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Hey, Vaughn, how are you?
I'm doing fine, Sean. How are you? It's been a long time.
Yes, like holy jeepers. So what's happening, man? Like you're lighting the world on fire. Beautiful things. Please, Vaughn, share your fun fact with us.
Well, I'm excited to be here. And as Gina said, I've been involved in some new things over the past couple of years. I left, I guess, big city law government about 2 years ago in February of 2020, kind of venturing out and doing my own entrepreneurial thing with legal being part of my portfolio, board service, and my own business in the airport concession space.
Beautiful, Vaughn. And Vaughn, how long were you in the U.S. Attorney's Office?
I was in the U.S. Attorney's Office from 1998 to 2001, so about 3.5 years there, and about 4 years with the State Attorney General's Office from 2002 to 2006.
Beautiful. Well, Vaughn, it's an honor and privilege to have you here, and looking forward to chatting about it. My dear friend, I have a couple of dear friends in Tiger 21. One is Pat Melson for the Tony Robbins world. He's a lion there in Florida. And he's like, you got to talk to people from Tiger 21. And my buddy Ben Burton, who was in it for a while, had wonderful things to say about it. He owns physical therapy office as an entrepreneur from North New Jersey. Vaughn, thank you for being here today and appreciate you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Gina.
Next, from northern New Jersey somewhere, I believe Riverdale, actually. Heart, magic, impact, kindness out the wazoo. He's an attorney, but he knows how to crush it when he needs to. General counsel, a trusted advisor, collaborative consultant, consulted on hundreds of M&A transactions totaling in excess of $500 billion, including, Sean, as you know about this, the largest equity transaction in history, valued at approximately $290 billion. The one, the only, Mr. Paul Criscuolo is with us today.
Gina, I thought you were going to say that this was Dr. Evil from Austin Powers, throwing around numbers that large. Paul, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing awesome. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing great. It is wonderful. Long time no talk.
Yes.
What is your fun fact, my friend?
So here's one I don't know that I have shared, and I'm going to date myself. Remember the Arsenio Hall show?
I do.
And remember he had a special section that he would call the dog pound, that he would introduce at the beginning of the show. And if you were in the dog pound, you had to like throw your arm up and like bark like a dog. My wife and I were in the dog. Yes, exactly, Bella. My wife and I sat in the dog pound on the Arsenio Hall show, God knows, 20 something years ago. So,
and did you do the things?
I did reluctantly, yes.
Let's hear from Paul Criscuolo, ladies and gentlemen. Doing the thing. By the way, if this man ran for mayor of Rivervale, New Jersey, he would win hands down unanimously. It might only be the only unanimous mayoral selection in the history of the world. Runs unopposed year after year as town councilman. Just extraordinary human being in all the ways. So, Paul, thanks for being here, brother.
Thank you. Love you all.
Love you, Gina.
Another heart-centered, integrous attorney, Sean from North Jersey, relentless litigation attorney and leader, top 100 national jury verdicts with you, including the largest in Arizona in 2016 and the fourth largest in New Jersey in 2014, fundamentally changing how the world feels about attorneys through his care, urgency, and aggression, one client at a time. Please, everyone, join me in welcoming the one, the only Michael Smykin.
Gina, I'm going to take you everywhere with me and Gina, go ahead and introduce, because there's nobody who could do a better job than you just did. That was beautiful.
Awesome. Fun fact. What do you got, Michael?
So I'm a big Marvel fan. And at times when I find myself conflicted about what to do, how to act like a more powerful leader, relentless guardian for my team, for the clients, and raising my heroic, unique identity, I sometimes turn to my little Captain America doll and I go, Captain America, what would you do in this situation?
Well,
and very frequently he gives me the right answer.
So since I got this from my kids at Christmas, I am now turning to Batman wall and doing the same thing. So Michael, that is absolutely extraordinary. And Michael, here's a counter fun fact. This or an additional fun fact or a related fun fact. This weekend, Unblinded co-founder, who you know well, Adam Gugino, was at a yacht party. I'm not saying it to be cool, but it's sort of funny that people throw yacht parties. I don't know, it just strikes me as interesting. Down in Florida, and wonderful people doing it. After the yacht party, Adam Gugino went to a client that you have helped massively.
I know.
Who told Adam Gugino that there is no better attorney in the world than you, number one. And number two, that's the same client that texted me and said, Michael Smykin is Steph Curry. If you don't build your entire world around him, you're out of your mind. So that is Michael. Love you. And our first meeting, I was 2 hours late to. We went to a Dunkin' Donuts 12 years ago, and things have kind of worked out. So Michael, awesome. Thank you for
wait, I now have a counter to your counter fun fact, or an additional fun fact. So I didn't even know that this was happening. I get a text message from the same client, and you know what he told me about co-founder Adam Gugino? He said that is the nicest person that he has spoken to in the last 10 years of his life. So, and I'm like, that's just because you don't know his scary side, right? But I had no idea this was happening. How did they even meet? Were they just at the same party?
Yeah, Adam went down to a platinum partnership yacht party thrown by James Cortez for one day and flew back for an event on Sunday. And then afterwards, everybody went to that gentleman's house.
Got it. That is so interesting. I love it.
Thank you, Michael. Gina, we're having all sorts of intersections.
We are. And I think this next one, this beautiful redhead, might have wanted some fun dynamics with you out on the water. I don't know. Would you like to share about this extraordinary co-host, Ms. Bella Verita, Sean Callaghy?
Yes, I would be happy and pleased to. So this woman is a heart-centered person of influence. She can be a little crazy and out of her mind. She started selling crafts on her front lawn as an 8-year-old, progressed to being a 7-figure earner in the space of network marketing. Then she became the #1 business broker in the state of Nevada. #1. And her youngest person ever to do it, 24, first woman ever to do it. And now she speaks on stages all over the place with like athletes and celebrities and people, but mostly she's heart-centered here to impact the lives of people, to find their greatest self. And she's even going to ministerial school at this point. The one, the only, Bella Verita. Let's hear it for Bella. Awesome. So, Bella, please, what's your fun fact?
I think my fun fact today, since we have all of these attorneys on today, and I am sitting in the law offices of Callaghy Law, I think my fun fact is I'm an attorney by osmosis today. Can I be an attorney just because I sit in the law office of Callaghy Law? Can that? And I role play one on TV. So
I think if Vaughn, Paul, and Michael say yes, then that's like permitted in the world. I think they have the official capacity to make that a reality. So yes.
Paul, Mike, Vaughn, what say you?
So I don't know about Vaughn, but for me, you have to raise your right hand and swear to protect the Constitution from all enemies, foreign and domestic.
And domestic.
That's right. That's right. And
I agree.
If you do that, you're one step closer. I'm just saying.
And so in the very office that you're standing in, Michael Smikin swore an attorney in to the bar of the state of New Jersey when Michael Smikin was dressed as Mr. Incredible. Like, that may have happened, right? And that gentleman, whose name is Chris Miller, what was Chris dressed as, Michael?
Chris was not dressed actually, but I'll take you one further and say what you were dressed as. Sean was dressed as, like, if this thing wasn't an authentic costume, I don't know what is. But he was dressed as the comic book Aquaman, not like the cool like Jason Momoa version, but like the aquamarine with like orange booties and everything. And can I just tell you, like, I look back on that.
I prefer the Super Friends Aquaman. Thank you very much.
Well, the Super Friends Aquaman. I don't look back at that memory with fondness like you do, Sean. Because here we have Chris, this brilliant individual who like worked his way hard through college, get great grades in law school, studied for the bar, worked his butt off. And we cheapen his swearing in ceremony by being dressed as comic book characters. Comic book characters.
Cheapened, or dramatically enriched. Cheapened or dramatically enriched. Right. So thank you, Michael.
John,
Gina.
wait, we found someone come in from the multiverse. I'm very, very much looking forward to introducing this gentleman.
Yes, please.
He is from Utah. He was a firearms instructor, an EMT, and business owner of his company, McGinnis Stucco, and he worked at the county prosecutor's office advocating for victims of crime. Today, he exclusively focuses on personal injury cases, allowing him to stay in the cutting edge of law in his field. So would you all please join me in welcoming Sean McGinnis to the Real Raw?
Sean, how are you?
Sorry, there, I could unmute now. So doing great. Thank you. I love the energy and everything else. Didn't really know what to expect, but I'm here. So
like small animal sacrifices, bloodletting, burning at the stake, those things, and a lot more fun than that. So appreciate you being here tremendously. What part of Utah are you from?
St. George.
Beautiful.
We're southern, about an hour and a half away from Vegas.
All right. So our related fun fact is one of your outstanding entrepreneurs from the great state of Utah, Chris Crone, and I jumped into the Atlantic Ocean, which was 47 degrees yesterday in Long Beach Island, New Jersey, before he flew back out to the great state of Utah, and he's got his own convention center out there. You know Chris at all or no?
I don't, but wow, yeah, that's
Chris is up to, ready for this? in all his social media platforms, I had no idea, and he just shared this weekend, he's up to 2 million views per day. 2 million views per day. I mean, totally insane. When I met Chris, he had about 100 to 200,000 views a week. He's up to 2 million a day. It's absolutely crazy. The power of compounding, the superpower of influence, all the beautiful and amazing things. Thank you, brother, for being here today. And yes, Gina, are we ready to do the thing?
Ready to do the thing. So thanks for letting me be here, and everyone have fun exploring Integra's influence.
All right. It's an amazing woman writing her life story, doing beautiful things in the world, overcoming unbelievable adversity, and is the deepest person of just people saying, I love Gina Ricci. I've never heard somebody more universally loved, maybe other than Adam Gugino, than Gina Ricci. So Gina, awesome job.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Sean. Have fun, everyone.
Thank you. All right. So co-host Bella Verita, who's going?
Well, Sean is our participant for the day, so I think Mr. Sean.
Yeah, I think we should throw Michael Smikin into the participant seat as well. What do you think?
Let's do it.
All right. So, in fact, I even vote, and you can override me because you're my boss, Bella, that I vote Michael Smikin goes first. What are your thoughts?
I would definitely vote for that for sure.
All right. Michael, do you accept this challenge?
Do I have a choice? Because if I do, then yes, absolutely, I accept.
So actually, and Vaughn, one more quick thought. Vaughn, did you know Henry, or do you know Henry Klingeman? He's
Vaughn, you're on mute.
One of my besties, and he was my trial partner for a 6-week extortion trial. Love him to life. Love him to life.
How about, then this is a drop the mic fun fact. Our first top 100 national jury verdict, Henry had one of the defendants in the case, and he settled out during trial. Did an awesome job, but we tried that case against Henry. So that's a beautiful other related fun fact.
Brilliant lawyer. Good guy.
Yeah, absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. We had a lot of fun. But please send our best.
I certainly will.
That we said hello and send their love. So, Michael, who would you like Bella to be?
Bella? I think I have a really great idea. So, Bella, what I would love for you to be in this world is an unbelievable, amazing, but slightly overworked in-house counsel for a business that's generating about $50 million a year in revenue, and that the challenges that come along with that are challenges like you violate contracts sometimes, or people accuse you of violating contracts. So you get a lot of work that falls on your plate, and you're looking for an outside attorney that can support you in working through some of these disputes and getting resolution, and sometimes getting into the arena and litigating cases and showing the world what integrity looks like. So I would like for you to be that person
I
in
don't
New
want to
Jersey.
play that person.
Bella, take us in.
Hello, this is Bella.
Hey, Bella, how are you doing?
I'm fine. Who is this?
My name is Michael Spiken, and I'm an attorney here in New Jersey. You sound a little bit exasperated, so I'm so sorry to hear that. How's your day going?
I'm very overwhelmed. What can I got a lot going on. What can I do for you?
Listen, I definitely don't want to take up too much of your time, but do you have maybe 3 minutes, not even, for me to just kind of introduce myself and tell you why I'm calling you, and then I promise I'll let you get back to whatever it is you're working on. Is that okay?
Can you tell me in like 30 seconds what you're calling for?
I can tell you in 15 seconds. So my name is Michael Smikin. I'm a lawyer here in the state of New Jersey. And one of the things that I do in this world is I help people with whatever challenges they may face. Most of the time, it's people who are looking for more, right? More money, more time, more fulfillment out of their life. But sometimes it's just to help them with some of their pain and challenges. I'm a litigator by trade. I'm a national trial attorney, and I handle cases all over the country. But really, the only thing I really want to do is just see how I can serve you and see how I can support you in whatever you're doing, whether it's
can you take some work off my plate? Can you like send attorney? Can you do work for me? Because I'm really overwhelmed, so I'm not quite sure what you could do for me right now.
Yeah, sure. So Bella, obviously it's going to depend on whatever your challenges are, but tell me a little bit about you. Like, what is it that you do? Tell me some of the challenges that you're facing now.
So, I mean, I think sometimes it'd be easier to answer what challenges I'm not facing right now. I am, up to my ears in work, so much so that I'm running into situations where, contract situations are happening. People are coming after us. It's just been quite a challenging year. Through COVID, a lot of attorneys have left, so a lot of the work has fallen on my plate, and I just don't have enough time to get all the work done.
Yeah, it sounds super frustrating, super stressful, and I could just feel how like pressed you are from all the different directions. What would you say is what would you say is the biggest challenge right now? Is it just you're not able to get to the cases because you're understaffed, or is it the complexity of the cases? What's the biggest challenge?
I would say being able to get to the cases, the complexity. I think we're fairly good on, but just definitely getting to all of the cases, and we've had some contractual issues as well.
Gotcha. You've been so amazing. I don't want to take too much time away from you. You've given me my 30 seconds plus, and I'm very sensitive to that, but can I have just 30 more seconds just to share a little bit about myself and what it is that we do and maybe how we can serve you?
Okay, 30 seconds.
Beautiful. That's all I need. So again, my name is Michael Smikin. I'm an attorney here in New Jersey. I do practice nationally. However, I practice in many states. I have been honored and blessed to have 2 top 100 national jury verdicts, including the 4th largest in New Jersey and the largest jury verdict in 2016. I not only do that, but I lead a team of trial attorneys that are just unbelievable, relentless guardians. And they serve people just like you every single day in helping them resolve their legal challenges, whether it's through litigation, pre-litigation, or whatever their needs are ultimately.
So how does this help me though? I don't understand.
Yeah, so I mean, the types of challenges you're facing are the exact challenges that we deal with every single day. And what I would love to do is, if it's all the same to you, I'd love to potentially maybe take you out to lunch and see if there's an opportunity for us to see how we can serve you, how we can help you in alleviating some of these cases and resolving some of them and moving through them. And we can figure out what all of that looks like without.
I'm not sure I don't even have time to eat right now, but maybe there's a different solution that you can come up with, but I got to run right now.
Yeah, sure. So would it be possible if maybe we set up a call a little bit later on this week, or maybe even next week when you're a little bit freer, if that's okay, for maybe 5 minutes?
That I could do.
Amazing. Okay. Thank you so much, Bella.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Michael, Bella, excellent. Who's up?
Mr. Sean McGinnis.
Yes. Sean, who would you like Bella to be?
Oh, let's see.
And don't worry, Sean, I don't know you as well as Michael, so I'll take a little easier on you. I won't be as mean. Sean, Michael's been hanging around for a few years, so.
Yeah, I'm not even sure, to tell you the truth. So yeah, I think I'm fine not participating, if that's fine, and you guys could just do your thing, and I could sit and see what this is all about. So.
Yeah. So Sean, what we're doing, right, is, and by the way, there's been 3,000 people on the show since it started. This is more than 500 shows we've had. We've had top attorneys, accountants, NFL football players, MLB players, NHL players, and we're exploring the superpower of influence, how we go from hello to yes, because influence obviously controls the world in our marketing, our selling, our leading, our managing, our recruiting, fundraising, for profit, not for profit. So the judges give some feedback, after participants go, and that's all we're doing is playing with the superpower of influence. I'm hearing some trepidation, and there's obviously nobody's pressure to force to do anything. But how about this? Would you like me to go in a scenario that you set up, and I'll step aside, and you guys could set up any scenario you like, make it as hard or difficult as possibly it can be, and I'll step into the participant seat. How does that sound to you, Sean?
Yeah, that would be good, I guess.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. All right, so Belle, I'm going to step away, and you set it up.
You got to leave, Sean. You can't hear the brainstorm.
Yes, I am not. Yes, I will hear nothing.
Sean.
So Sean,
a little rough.
Let me ask you this, Sean. What is it that, first off, that you're looking for more of? So if you were, going after something big, you were going to be sitting in front of someone and you wanted to get a big yes, what would that be?
I'm trying to even think of yeses that I need. I don't, and that's where I think I'm kind of, at loss a little bit. I don't even, I guess that's just where it's at. I don't know of any yeses that I would need right at this time. So.
Was there, so, just to kind of give some examples of, some role plays that Sean has done is he role played, he was Muhammad Ali, that role played getting a yes from the Supreme Court. And to Kalia Ali, and Kalia Ali said she felt like Sean actually channeled Muhammad Ali. He has role played, President Trump, convincing President Biden on why the wall should still be built. He has been President Biden convincing President Trump on why everybody should be vaccinated. He has done all kinds of issues from venture capitalists, even asking Elon Musk for a $20 million investment to help build schools for underprivileged kids. So it can be, all kinds of things, things that are, something even may be meaningful, like the school one was definitely something that was more meaningful. The Supreme Court for Muhammad Ali was absolutely something that was like more meaningful, and then the other day he was the president of, I don't remember the names, but the president of Iran talking to another president on why they should stop building nuclear weapons. Like that was pretty interesting. So it can be any kind of scenario. Does I don't know, maybe Vaughn, if you have anything that comes up for you that maybe you might want to see.
You threw out a lot. What about a scenario that we're dealing with right now regarding COVID-19? And we'll set up a scenario where, Sean, has to convince the legislature in New Jersey, because he's the governor of New Jersey, to keep his emergency powers in place, even though the pandemic is not like it was a few years ago. People in the legislature want the emergency powers to expire and lapse, that we shouldn't continue to operate in emergency mode, and there's some opposition there. So Sean, as the governor, would have to convince them that those powers need to remain.
So Sean is playing the governor. Now he was talking to one person. So Sean is the governor, and he is talking to whom?
The Senate president.
The Senate president on keeping the emergency powers.
Right. The Senate president wants to get rid of the emergency powers of the governor to act without certain approvals. The governor wants to keep those powers to enact through executive orders.
Beautiful. Okay. All right. Well,
ready for me?
Yes, we are ready for you.
So what is the scoop?
Vaughn, would you like to share with Mr. Callaghy the fun role play that he will get the opportunity to do today?
So Sean, today you are Governor Murphy, the great governor of the state of New Jersey, and you have to convince the Senate president that you should retain your emergency powers during COVID to be able to enact executive orders without going through the legislative process. And the Senate president wants to end those powers and have them expire so that business can go back to the way it was before COVID.
Okay. And who is the Senate president? Do you know?
The Senate president right now, I think, is Nick Scuteri.
Okay. Awesome.
I think it's Nick Scuteri.
Okay. Awesome. So, and do you want to play Nick Scuteri or no, or somebody else?
Oh, sure, I could. If sure, yeah. Why not? Let's go. Let's go through it.
Let's do it.
So, hey, Nick, how are you? It's Governor Murphy.
I'm doing fine. It's been, as you know, Governor, it's been a rough year. I'm glad 2022 is here, and hopefully we can move forward with getting this state back on track.
And so thank you so much, Nick. I agree that this has been a very challenging time, and there's a lot of complex issues that are going on, a lot of people hurting in many different ways. Thanks for taking the time today. And what I'm asking for in this confidential conversation is whether for you to assess whether or not it makes some sense for us to have a longer conversation about this. But can I ask you this, Nick? We know each other a bit. Can I ask you, when you think about our great state of New Jersey and the mission that you're here to serve at a heart level, on a vision level, not the politics and all the things that we know we deal with, but on a heart and vision level, why do you still do all this? We go through a lot. I'm happy to answer the same question, myself, but why do you do what you do?
Well, Governor, I think it's probably the same reason you do what you do is we really believe in the power of people. And the great state that we have, New Jersey, is made up of 9 million people. We have a very diverse population. It's one of the wealthiest states, as you know, in the union. We have great colleges, great universities. We have great industry, Fortune 500 companies who are here. And we have a population of people that's vulnerable that depend on people like you and me to make sure that we take care of them. And so we give words to those who can't speak on behalf of themselves. And so that's why I do what we do. And that's why I'm driven every day to get up and go to Trenton to make sure that we are conducting and governing ourselves in a way that New Jerseyans can benefit those who are at the top of the ladder and those who are at the bottom.
Yeah. Well, Nick, thank you. And I'm present to it, and I feel your heart. And I know that our work is difficult, and being in the political process at all, particularly in a state like ours, which has 9 million people, it's densely populated, has a deep and rich history of multi-generational dynamics and people knowing each other and lines and feuds and all of those complexities. And then on top of it, we add in a pandemic, and we have a recipe for fake confusion, a recipe for political gamesmanship, a recipe for heroic possibilities, and all the things in between. So thank you for that. And yes, I do this for the same reason. I believe at the highest level that we're going to face complex issues, and we're going to face a lot of complex issues because how we resolve those issues and how folks get reelected and align with their party, three completely conflicting dynamics, certainly comes up all the time. And I think you navigate that beautifully. So thank you, Nick. Yeah. So can I step in for a moment? I probably only have about a minute and a half or so right now.
Sure.
But, yeah. To that prism, listen, I am very present, or please listen, I'm very present to all of what is occurring for New Jersey business owners. I'm also present to this pandemic. And at the end of the day, we have laws, and those laws can be interpreted in very differing and complicated ways. So I'm a huge fan of Star Wars, and I'm present to the idea that if you're at all a fan of Star Wars, the way that the empire rose and horrible things happened is by centralizing power in one leader. That was Palpatine that turned Anakin Skywalker into Darth Vader. And anytime you centralize power, you face extraordinary risks. Understood. At the same time, during this pandemic and in life in general, emergency powers are created so that we can effectuate and make decisions without the political process for emergent health, safety, and welfare issues that affect the population. And so the question is, are we still in that situation or not? And I am confident, Nick, that we are still in that situation. And my request is, and I am fully present to the political pressure of business owners in the state. I'm fully present to their level of influence, their economics, and how it differs from the general populace. At the same time, our obligation, our government, is created to protect the weaker from the stronger. Our government is designed to protect the minority from the majority. And this issue, the easy path for me as governor, I think the easy path for you and for all of us, is to take away these emergency powers, go back to the political process, lift the executive orders, because the people with the most influence, the business owners, will be cheering and doing cartwheels down the street. And I love these people. I care about these people. And at the same time, the weakest people, the general population, who would be the most affected, the silent and weakened majority on this issue, because wouldn't be present to what's happening. And we could easily influence them and convince them that this is the right thing to do. I just don't believe it is. So when I'm asking you for their well-being, for the well-being of people, yet I want to release these emergency orders as quickly as possible. And quite frankly, Nick, it puts me in an unbelievably uncomfortable position with the crosshairs on my political head and back. And I want to release them. I just don't know that we could not fall into a politically insane series of dynamics with grandstanding and issues of how anything is going to get through. And now we're negotiating people's literal life and death through the political process. And I think that is not in the best interest of people in the state of New Jersey. I understand we're out of time. I understand you may. What I'm requesting is, can we have an hour sit down and truly go through the numbers, the issues, where things are, the rate of cases? And I understand the idea that this new variant isn't what we were dealing with before. I understand that, but it still creates immense health, welfare, and safety issues that I would like to unpack in a longer conversation factually, and not have either of us get sucked up into the politics of this. So my request is an hour meeting tomorrow, the next day, to look at the facts and to see where your heart in serving the people of New Jersey the way I know it is, where it sits after that conversation. So Nick, how does that resonate or not with you?
It resonates very well. Thank you, Governor. I think that makes a lot of sense. And I would just request, if you don't mind, that we also have the Senate Minority Leader there from the Republican Party as well, because as you know, this is a bipartisan issue, and I don't want to turn it into a partisan issue for the reasons you just articulated. So if you agree to that, I can reach out to the Senate Minority Leader, and we can go through and have your cabinet head from the Department of Health be ready to present, the information with the data so that we can take a look at it. But I would also ask you, Governor, to start thinking about, if it's not now, what situation or what facts would have to exist for us to go back to normal? Is it based upon the number of cases? Is it based upon a number who test positive? I mean, what objective criteria can we point to say, when we reach here, it's time to kind of go back to the normal process? Can
Nick,
you think
what
about
is it?
that?
Nick, I couldn't agree more. My request for our minority leader would be that we all put this under an agreement of confidentiality to not turn it into something political. And the presentation I will be making to both of you will include exactly that. The hard criteria that we will look at to rescind these orders. It will involve time, case numbers, and other things, but I know we're at time. I know we're at time right now. So thank you. Appreciate it. And let's set up that meeting. So thank you again, Nick.
Thank you, Governor.
Thank you. Out of roll, right, Vaughn, how do we do?
It's great. It was fun.
Yeah, awesome. You did a great job. You did a great job. We're creating a political process.
Just made it up.
Yes, on the fly. So appreciate that enormously. A PS in Fun Energy, I think we're having a fundraiser for a horse charity that we're involved in, talking about the political process with New Jersey's Senator, United States Senator Menendez, coming up in a couple weeks at our offices. So it just popping into my mind, head and heart. That might be a positive place for you to be. We're going to have
Let me know. Sure.
Yeah, Siri Lynn and Rebecca Keat, who are world champion. Siri is was the world champion, retired as world champion triathlete, and for horse slaughter, they're trying to have a bill passed that would ban horse slaughter, and they're very dear friends. And so we're going to have some hopefully magical conversation around it. But awesome job with that. And then Sean, how did that feel for you, or your thoughts on that?
I liked it. It's pretty fast paced. But yeah, it was good.
Nice. So how about yourself, Sean, and absolutely no pressure at all. Would you like to jump into a scenario with Bella, and we'll get some feedback from the judges? Any thoughts?
I don't, actually.
Okay. Can I ask, just out of fun, no pressure at all. What is your reluctance? I'm not, no judgment.
I just don't know anybody. I don't know motives. I don't know, I just don't know anybody in this group. So I just don't, I'm reluctant to just jump into things that,
Sure. And what prompted you to come on today? Who did you communicate with?
I was contacted by a past kind of friend that we've served in different various volunteer organizations, and she just said, hey, tell me a little bit about you, and just said, hey, it might be beneficial. Again, it wasn't much. I suppose if I had more notice or knew, I basically kind of lift you up, and that was it. But even on that, I didn't know what to expect when I think one of the first things on the website was I hate lawyers. So it was like, wait, what am I getting into? So it was.
That is definitely that is definitely not the situation at all. And I don't think I said I hate lawyers. What we're here to
on
do.
your webpage, sorry, I maybe I'm miscommunicating. But
No, it's all. So thank you for that, and thank you for even being here today. What we're doing, though, I mean, to be emphatically clear, is at Unblinded, and I own a 120-person law firm here in New Jersey. I'm one of only 2 attorneys in America with 2 top 100 national jury verdicts, between 2014 and 16. And I believe in the superpower of integrous influence. I had the privilege of civilly uncovering the largest Ponzi scheme in the history of South Florida. Scott Rothstein was the first person reported to the FBI. And I think in some of the videos you may see, one of my outcomes in life in trying to make the world a greater place is to disrupt the prevalence of lying in the legal system and the enforcement and encouragement of candor to the tribunal, perjury dynamics, which I think have gone by the wayside. And in both my top 100 jury verdicts, there was corruption, insanity, influence over state court judges. So I don't hate lawyers, I stand for the proposition that what would make America a far greater place is if we enhance the skill sets of people to deal with what I think is a legal system that encourages us to lie, because we get away with it. And so when you get away with something, it's beneficial. So, and that's not the entire premise of the show. What it's really about is going from hello to yes, and what does integrous influence look like, where we're supporting people and seeing a point of view, and we're able to deal with other like frictiony dynamics like that. So that's the fundamental, and we do trainings and events and seminars and all sorts of work. But that's the background on what we're up to in the world.
Good. Yeah, I like it.
Thank you. So how about this? Michael, let's give some feedback to you. So Vaughn, what do you have for Michael? Maybe 30 seconds of feedback, 15 seconds what worked, 15 seconds what could be optimized. Then Vaughn, if you're up for it, a scale on a score of 1 to 10, a 1 being like, I would rather jump into the Atlantic Ocean off of Long Beach Island and sit in there for an hour than talk to Michael. A 5 would be, I'm not sure if I'd rather go for a 10-mile run in the cold or talk to Michael. A 10 being, I will not let this man out of my sight before we do business. Vaughn, what do you have for Michael?
So I like the fact Michael was very conscious of time, and I thought he let Bella know immediately. Listen, give me 30 seconds. She said 30. He said I'll give you 15. He took 15. So I thought he was very conscious of her time, which I think. But I also thought that when he asked for time the second time, he didn't have to repeat who he was and what he did. He could have just gone right into why he wanted to meet with her. But I love the time sensitivity, because many times when we're asking for somebody to do something, we don't stress how important it is that their time is precious for us. And so I like that. I like that about him. And I thought he transitioned very well, listening to what she was saying in terms of, asking her about lunch. And then, if we can't do lunch, can we just get together? So I definitely give him a 7 or 8, on that. And I would, have an opportunity, and hopefully Bella would give him an opportunity to revisit the conversation, because clearly he has something that she needs, and she's overworked. She has a lot of issues. And I love the fact that he stressed that he was a problem solver. I think that was key. I saw problems. I help you overcome your challenges. And so lawyers as problem solvers, and learning more about what the issue is and letting me help you with your problem, that resonated with me as well.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Vaughn. That was awesome.
Yeah. Thank you on that. Paulie C, please, what'd you have for Michael?
Yes. So I gave Michael an 8.8. He has obviously been trained well. I love similar to Vaughn, I love the way he leaned into the time issue. He stated 3 minutes. Bella basically said, I'll give you 30 seconds. I love how he leaned into that and disrupted it even further and saying, I only need 15. I liked how he kept addressing the time issue as it progressed. Mm-hmm. Halfway through, he said, can I have another 30 seconds? So that was done very well. What kept this for me from being in the 9s was he never got to how he could help Bella. She's like, I still, even at the end, she was like, I could help me. He never got to his HUI and specifically how that HUI could help Bella. So that's what kept it from a 9 for me.
Nice. Excellent. Bella, how did you feel about my role as Governor Murphy?
I thought you did a phenomenal job as Governor Murphy and made some very strong points to serve the people. And what I always love about what you do is the level of integrity and how even on the hottest of subjects, you can bring it to the personal heart.
Awesome. Well, appreciate that. So listen, I think it's time for us to call it a pause in the beautiful magic of today. Interesting day. We had a couple of cancellations. We had the director of Legal Week, who was coming out to join us, had an emergency cancellation, and one other incredible person that had some difficulty getting in. So let's go finals. Michael Smikin, how was your experience today on the Raw in the hot seat of participant?
You want to know something? I actually love it. I really do. So it's so infrequent that we get an opportunity to people who we respect. Like I very much respect Vaughn. I respect you, of course, Sean. I respect Bella and Paul and Sean to put your influence mastery on display, right? Show how you develop the skills that you've acquired. Because very frequently it's win, no win, motion granted, motion denied. Right? Yes, no, whatever it is. So it was a super enjoyable experience. I really loved it. I love being on the hot seat again. And I really took the criticism and the positives, right, to do more of that. But I took the criticisms to heart and I really want to continue to develop my skill set. So awesome job, incredible, amazing host, amazing role player, amazing contestants, and amazing judges.
No, thank you. Vaughn, can I ask you this? What is your mission? Like you're up to amazing things all over the place. What keeps you going? What are you driven to? Why Tiger 21? Like what's going on for you?
Activities like this, personal growth and development. I understand and realize that in order for me to help other people grow, I have to grow. And so I'm in constant mode of learning and growing and teaching and learning and growing and teaching and learning and growing and teaching. And so for me to be in this conversation, to hear and to listen, I take it, package it, appropriate it, and I apply it in another context. So I'm constantly looking for new learning experiences and meeting new people who can help me grow and develop so that I can help other people grow and develop. That's kind of my mission.
Awesome, brother. I appreciate that enormously. Sean, thank you for being here. I know it's like a hello. What are you up to in the world? Like what's driving you and, why are you doing what you're doing?
I think my family plays a big role in my enjoyment of life and what I'm the person I'm trying to become. I enjoy being an attorney and all the challenges that brings. And I enjoy, kind of serving in different things in the community every once in a while. Just that. I don't think I've got any, high expectations. I'm not trying to take over the world or anything. Just trying to.
Wait, I heard you. I heard you were. I heard that you were like Dr. Evil. No. So Sean, Diamond Ranch Academy is that in St. George, Utah?
It may be out in like one of the smaller towns. I'm not sure. What does it do? And I can tell you.
It's like a behavioral school, really high-end behavioral school for kids, I think.
Yeah, that's striking. That's what I was thinking when you mentioned it. I think it's in her top.
Okay, yeah, I've heard very positive things about it. I don't know any awareness of it or no.
No, nothing.
No, gotcha. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. And I guess let me ask this question: what's a fun fact about you? Something we might not expect to know. That would be a little something about you.
I love to travel. I've been, France, Germany, Italy. I love to travel. I'm a CrossFit instructor, even though I'm like up 40 pounds, but I like doing triathlon back in the day. I feel like you go to law school and then it's like, or for me, it's like, I got to put everything on hold. So I'm kind of in, I think, this transitioning period. But yeah, I mean, there's, over out here, we have tons of red rocks. I like Jeeping, riding Harley Davidsons,
Amazing. Well, really appreciate being here. And what's your favorite place you've ever been to with your travels?
Venice, Italy, for sure.
And you definitely did not drive your Harley to Venice, Italy. Is that true?
I didn't. And Hawaii as well, depending on your mood and what you're going for. So
Where Jurassic Park was filmed, in part at least.
it was. We did 4-wheelers on that little where they run across the plane. Was pretty cool. So yeah.
Very cool. Well, Sean, thank you for being here. Paul Criscuolo, any final thoughts? How was your experience today?
Experience was awesome, as it always is. Thank you for having me. No matter how many times I am on this, I'm always learning something new. So just cannot appreciate the team enough for the invite, and certainly for the participants and the judges joining. Thank you for your efforts in this and for connecting with us further.
Awesome. Thank you. The one and only co-host of Real Raw, final, Bella from your heart.
Sean, I've been doing the show with you for now over a year, and so I think there's well over 300 episodes, and every day I see a different role play, and what I know about what it is that we do here with the superpower of influence is not only do more time, money, and magic happen, but everything happens on the other side of that. Yes, everything that we seek is on the other side of the yes, whether it's personally or professionally. And what you demonstrated here today just shows the impact having a state be able to have its emergency services, just the impact of understanding and being able to unpack value to people, and that superpower of influence is absolutely incredible. And one of my fondest memories is being in the room with you in Tony Robbins, and whether you like Tony Robbins or not, the man has influence. He coaches presidents. When presidents are going to be impeached, they call Tony. So whether you like him or not, the man has a significant amount of influence in the world. And I was in the room, Sean, when he put his hand on your chart and said, "There's no one that leads with more heart and more integrity than Sean Callagy. And if you don't know what he's up to, you need to." And that is because influence is a superpower, and it makes a massive difference in the world. So, Vaughn, Sean, there is a gift for you in the chat. Definitely feel free to download that. And Sean, just thank you for what you do in the world, because if it weren't for you and the superpower of influence, Michael Smikin wouldn't be $1 million richer.
Well, and I wouldn't be a lot of things without him as well. So thank you for that. So Sean, thank you. Great job. Vaughn, truly appreciate it. Paul, Michael, Bella, really wonderful job. And our mission in the world is to lessen suffering, have higher vibrational things occur for people, because at the end of the day, it's actually pretty easy. But it's a science that looks like magic, and everyone at some level, in some way, is just blind
and
just learn to see. Come on, Bella.
Come on, Bella. All right, love you guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Great job, Juan. Thank you, Sean.
Yep.
say, it's like, do you want to grow?